Okay, so this is take 3 on this video. I have tried this 2 other times and I just messed them up completely, and this is my 3rd time. Alright, anyway, so disclaimer. This is primarily for AS patients, Ankylosing Spondylitis, but it does also apply to anybody who has any kind of medical situation, chronic illness, whatever, especially something that hinders mobility. So it's, but again, primarily for AS at this point. First of all, I was going to do an AS video many months ago and ended up scrapping that video because I couldn't get it right. It was I was using 2 cameras. It was like this skit thing I was trying to put together, and I bombed at it. It's horrible. So I scrapped it out. And we'll do it over at some other time. This video is, I just want to jump in here and talk about how important it is to have a medical ID bracelet or necklace or whatever the case is, and I'll get into the different ones in a second. There was a lady in one of my chat groups that I, keep track of. There's a few, so it's not one in particular. But, oh God. Sorry about that, excuse me. Anyway, she was involved in a car accident about a year ago. And when EMS arrived to the scene where the accident had happened, she was just starting to come back around. She had been knocked unconscious. When they arrived, like I said, she was coming around, but she wasn't, active enough to give them any kind of information. She was just she remembers what happened, but she couldn't communicate at that time. So, during the process of them trying to help her, she was bleeding in certain areas, so they were trying to assess that, get her out of the car, and when they were putting her on the backboard and strapping her down, they had used one of the head straps, I guess, or head restraints, or whatever you want to call them, and her neck happens to be fused. Well, it was fused. And so you can pretty much guess what happened. Yeah. Broke her neck. So, she's okay now. She's gone through a couple of different surgeries and had some other things done, plus with the injuries that she had sustained in the accident itself. But she is okay now. Had she had the medical alert bracelet or whatever, it could have helped a lot. It would have let them know what she had, and it may not have even happened. But then again, you don't ever know. But I'm just saying, the medical alert bracelet is pretty important. Some people do not like the bracelet. They like the necklace. I do not like the necklace. I would not wear the necklace simply because in a situation like that, it could have broken, it could have fell under the seat, they would never have seen it, and the same thing would have happened anyway. So what would be the point of the necklace? My thing, I would wear the bracelet, and there are different types. Some people don't like them. They don't like, some people just have this thing in their head that makes them look old. I don't know. But again, they have different types. They have very nice, expensive ones. They have very low price, very reasonable ones. And there's just many different ones. You got the gold ones, you can get the silver ones, you get the big ones, get little ones, Velcro, the USB ones, whatever type you want, as long as it has the information on there. And the information you want on there for anybody who has AS or I'm just going to go with AS. I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to give any false information or a bad idea. AS, Ankylosing Spondylitis, okay? You want to have either, depending on how big the bracelet is, if it's very small, just have AS and put brittle spine. If it's a bigger bracelet and there's enough room, put the whole thing, Ankylosing Spondylitis, with brittle spine underneath it. The brittle spine is really the most important part of it, so, but at least they know to be extra careful with you if something were to happen and you cannot convey to them what your situation is. With her situation, like myself and a lot of other AS people, her neck was fused. I'm assuming by the way it happened, the way mine is like an S shape, like here's your back, and then my neck is here, and it goes kind of like that, so my head's forward a little bit, and when I lay on my back, I have to have something big, as thick as this sometimes, under my neck, because obviously my neck's going to be hovering off the floor or the bed or wherever I'm laying. But with her situation, when they went to force it back, it broke her neck. So, yeah. Very important. Get the bracelets. And like I said, those different ones have either AS put on them, have ankylosing spondylitis, but the most important thing is to have brittle spine put underneath it. You can also get the, which is a good idea, but at the same time it's a little bit of a time waster. So it's kind of perky, but it's not perky in an emergency situation. Some people get the USB bracelet or something that has a little tiny USB drive that the medical personnel that can just plug it into their system, have all your information right there. In an emergency situation like that, it wouldn't be a bad thing, but it's not going to be very, it's going to be more time consuming rather than just looking at the bracelet. The USB one is a good idea, however, because they can still get the information, it's just going to take more time. However, they have all that information on the drive at the hospitals, that they may need. So you can have the ailment that you have with your medication list, doctor's information, everything you can put on the thumb drive and they have it. So it is a good idea, it's just not, in an emergency situation, it's a little bit more, just an extra step, if you will. So it's more reliable just to have it printed on the medical, whatever, bracelet, neck, whatever. Just have it there so they can see it. And I feel like I'm rambling, I don't know. What else? I'm going to do another AS video. First of all, I'm going to work on the one that I had tried to do before, and which is going to be a little bit time consuming for me, but I'm just going to do a couple more sit downs about different things as far as medications and some of the things that people have said about it, some of the things that people have said about us. They don't understand what we're going through. You can't see it, so there's nothing wrong, that type of situation. So I'll get into all that. And what else? I think that's it. This video is primarily on the ID bracelet thing, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to add any more to it, because if I start adding, we could go on forever. So, in any case, like I said, she is doing good. She has gone through a couple of surgeries. They've done some pinnage, or she called it pinnage, and they've done, whatever, some screws and whatever they had to do. But it didn't, let me just say real quick, how did it break her neck? How it broke her neck was, and this is mainly for the people that are, maybe watching and saying, okay, well, how does AS break your neck? When you have all that other stuff, like here's your spine, that doesn't look right. Here's your spine, okay? When you have all this other stuff growing in the joints, in your vertebrae, and wherever, and it's fusing, if you bend and you break the piece that it's fusing, it's like a weld, okay? If you break the weld, it can also break what is welded. You see what I'm saying? So when it breaks that bone, which is, or some people say it's bone, some people call it something else. I call it bone. Can't move your freaking neck, it's stiff as a board. When it breaks that bone, it takes the other real bone with it. Not in all cases, but in a lot of cases, if you have damage like that and you fracture it, it's going to take the bone with it. As in my case, there was at one point, one of the doctors said something about wanting to know when I fractured my neck back here. And I said, I've never fractured my neck before. And it took a lot of time to figure out what he was talking about, and finally we figured it out. Years ago, I had gotten rear-ended, and this is before we found out I had AS, but I had gotten rear-ended, and again, my neck had already started fusing at that point, and when the guy rear-ended me, of course, you know, it throws you back a little bit or whatever. Well, it threw me back a lot. He hit me pretty good. That is the only thing that we came up with that would have caused that injury. But at the time, I didn't know it. You know, and that could have been a very, very, very bad situation for me had it been worse than what it was. But apparently, it fractured, it healed, and kept on fusing. So, but in any case. Okay, I've rambled on enough. I'm just going to shut this down, get it in the computer, and get it uploaded. And yeah, I'll pop back in. I'll do some more AS videos. For you guys that are seeing this on, because it's on a regular channel, for you guys that are seeing it, you knew it was coming. You know what it is. Somebody suggested that I make another channel strictly for AS videos and my regular vlog videos. I'm not going to do that. AS is me. AS is a part of my life. AS is an everyday 24/7 situation. No, I can't do that. My channel is about me. This is me. There you have it. Alright guys, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day, night, wherever it is you're at. And I'll get on those other videos here in the next couple weeks or so. And yeah. Alright, bye.